Oh, hello. I realise that it's distracting to have that other light on. Sorry. I ended up just chatting to somebody who messaged to say that they would like to come, but they can't. So anyway, welcome those of you who are here. Hi, Sally. And thank you, Jax. So honestly, I want to start by saying that I am in the space of where I don't know whether to laugh or cry. I feel like there's all this energy and emotion running through me. I'm not even sure that it's mine, and I don't feel sad, but I feel that there's a part of me that's in overwhelm. So maybe that's the masculine aspect. But I do know that what we have to do is find our way to sit deeply into this trust. Trust that all is unfolding perfectly. Trust that all is in order. Trust that there are electromagnetics at play, bringing the right people and the right opportunities in divine timing. And that we need to remember that we really are in sacred times. Take these off. So yeah, pretty incredible, I believe. I also am in the sense that a lot of things can happen that quickly. And today, today I started sorting through some boxes. Like, I am still in this house and I get to stay here for longer, and so I need to do some more sorting. Hello, Jules. And I realised I found my box of notebooks, and so I am, in the throes of figuring out what I'm going to do with these 9 years of notes, and I like randomly plucked a notebook out of my box of notebooks, and it was from 2018, and I put it away again, but it's what I wrote in 2018 that was coming is here. And it was, about our DNA activation. It was about the ley lines and the pulsations of the earth and the fractals having been energized to the higher, and so that's really what we are in here now. Sally's saying agonizing pain in her breast during the night woke her up. Remnants of a 1992 assault. Oh, that won't have been fun. Jules is saying the same thing. So this may be a part of your opportunity to release some trauma that's held in the cells, because there is a lot of that going on at the moment. And so, that's this lifetime, and there will be examples of that coming from other lifetimes as well. So it's what is really good is that here are two of you being able to share that, which doesn't make it feel quite so lonely, does it? So I feel that we are moving into the time where the somatic is really our ally. So working with the body, with what's coming up in the body, with what the body is telling us and showing us in terms of its signal, signs, pains, contractions, the memories that it is arousing from held within the cells. Hi, Preeti. Hi. Yeah, so we are in huge kind of heart activation times. I feel that that's going on particularly for the masculine. And again, I can't believe that has been this long. Um, a gap before I'm back here again. So I I do promise to try and do that more regularly. I like coming on here. It's just finding time and space. So yeah, back to the 8th of September, where I wrote, "What are you weaving today?" and to weave this light through your body. So we have had a number of these 999 days, and we've still in September, of course, the ninth month, and we're in the ninth year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 is 9, and we've got one more to go, so that will be the 27th of this month. And these are energetic opportunities for us to release what is held. That's how I read those days. So your light body, your physical body, your organs and your body systems, right from sort of back at the beginning of September, this was information that was coming up for us to be looking at, and we've been doing this through various systems in the bodies, and even today, well, I'll get to today, but even today, the the movement, the instruction that the information that Guy gave me was about that too. This sort of this pumping of various systems, and so it's all so that we can go deeper, to go higher, and into greater harmonization within our systems and within our cells, our cellular memory. And this is so that we can be stepping towards this crystallization and stepping towards becoming Homo luminous. So it's this incremental, step by step, a little bit at a time, a little bit of activation, of releasing, of being able to do some healing, of then receiving, and then integrating, and then activating that to the higher. There's these ongoing spirals and cycles for us to be releasing the old and then coming into the higher, and we're just becoming more adept at that. It's becoming more regular and finer, and soon what will happen is that the work that you have done will begin to impact the people around you. So as we have traversed, more of this time, we've had more harmonization, this come on and within the human sentient life, both internal and external of the planet and the Earth and the galaxy and beyond. So each is the micro of the other. So this going back through many levels or through many layers of existence, from the microbial here on planet right out to beyond the galaxy. So yeah, this first 999 day came as a day to really focus on endings as the wisdom returns, and many of you will be noticing that. I've certainly been noticing that in my clients. It's like, acknowledge your own wisdom, because that is what will guide you towards your purpose and mission. And also the ancient masters, they're beginning they were beginning to show themselves, like climbing out of the center of the earth. So I went to a meditation with a group of people. I was invited to be a part of their evening, and that was what I saw. Was while I was there, I saw these ancient beings, and some of the ascended masters, like climbing out of the northern vortex point of the planet. And so Amaterasu was one of the archangels or ascended masters I saw, and she's a Japanese goddess of the sun, and so she came out. Um, and so she works with, oh, so interesting, isn't it? Because this was after that. And she works with the yellow ray of wisdom, and Lord Lanto is her divine partner. And so Amaratsu is Japanese, and Lord Lanto is a Chinese ascended master. And yeah, what they said to me is that, well, they both work on the second ray as well. And what they said is the Earth is coming of age and moving into a new paradigm. So then we were shown, or I was shown, the pillars of remembrance and this reclamation that we can each make to claim more of our higher selves and of our higher consciousness and of the cellular memory that comes from those times that we have lived in higher frequencies with higher consciousness, and to claim your attributes, your keys, your knowledge, as we enter more and more into working with the quantum field, the quantum fractals, and more into this age of Aquarius, and to instruct your I am presence. That's your right. So I wrote a list of those. I am whole, I am complete, I am mastery, I am balance, I am equilibrium, I am joy, I am love, I am light, I am high frequency, I am abundance, I am freedom, I am in relationship with my beloved. And so all of those you can claim. Oh, I also got given that that the financial reset would be complete by the end of November. So we shall see. And I wanted to suggest that if you've got intentions, that it's good to write it down, and then it's good to do something physical that goes with the intention. So it doesn't mean that the physical act you take matches the intention, but you're doing something physical around the intention, and then that helps to, it's like you see it, hear it, taste it, look at, speak it, and hear it with your body, and then makes a movement with the body. It's using all of the senses for that. And then we came to the 11th of September, which felt really very unsettled to me, and I got shown that it was because the tipping point was building. And I was, like I've been today, I was really emotional on that day. So I'm not emotional every day, but I have found myself to be emotional quite often this month, and feeling that the general, so this is the exciting part for me, is that the general collective of humanity is stirring to a new level of recognition that things have to change, that things are changing, that things are not as they seem, and that much is moving and stirring as there's this kind of awareness and acknowledgement that there are things hidden, there are things to be revealed, and that the general collective is like, this feels off, this doesn't feel right, this doesn't feel true. And so there's kind of gentle, like, awakening from the slumber, really. So for those who are first wavers, you're already aware of this, but there's this group, this big collective group of humanity that are now in this kind of yawning, if you like, to just maybe suspending some ideas, not being quite so righteous about their beliefs, their understandings, but just being a little bit softer, a little bit more open to, well, maybe it's not quite how I felt it was, or maybe there's something here that I missed, or maybe I am about to learn something new. And it's big, and I feel that it's really important for us to be able to hold space for them with that, because it's so huge for them to, like, do an about wheel, which is really what they are being asked to do. So it's this very pervasive energy of change that we've been sitting in. Like the moment the gates are opened before the stampede of the bulls was the imagery I was given. And so this tipping point is building. There's this anticipatory feeling. And I feel that's what a lot of light workers are in. It's like, oh, it's, I don't know what it is, but it's about to go. I'm not sure what the change is, but there's this building momentum for it. So there's like a low level excitement because we've been on the edge with this for a while, and because we've been on the edge with this before, maybe we've even been more fervently in belief that it's happening, and so maybe now we're just a bit more cautious with that. But there is this real sense of this. Yeah, so Gaia showed me the orchestra. So she has some sort of thematic things that she shows me. I don't go to thinking about them. I go to sit with her and see what she has to say and what she shows me. And so I recognize that there is this musical instrument, this orchestral visual metaphor that she uses. And so she showed me the orchestra. She showed me the crescendo building to a fast fever pitch. All the instruments were resounding and clamoring, and this is, in attunement to what first wavers, I believe, are feeling. And then, yeah, she pointed for me to take a seat to notice it, and she showed me that there's this graceful space that's being held for the masculine, and that they are on double time. They are marching to keep up, to catch up, to get into position for the next steps. And this is both singularly and collectively. The masculine in our world are in this phase. All hands on deck has shifted to batten down the hatches. So we're getting to this last part. Take your positions. And many are singularly focused to complete these procedures before the event being our ascension as humanity and as planet. And we really are in this part of the final stage. So many points racing to the 0 point. And this scenario of the divine masculine stepping up and doing this in a very focused way and in a very I've got this way, not necessarily in communication about what they are doing, although many of them are, and yet they know, and they are kind of very focused on it. Yeah, so that was what Guy was showing me. Yeah. Yeah, so they know that they have this special connection with their divine counterpart to connect with. And then we're in this, this whole eclipse, equinox, blah, blah, blah. It's just been like, boom, boom, boom. And so that has also been massive, and a lot of you are no doubt feeling exhausted. So I can see that there's, hello, Deb and Michelle Boyle, and hello, Helen. And hello, I said hello to you, Preeti. Let me see. Hello. And Deb's been having weird dreams. Yeah, a lot of weird dreams. And then so what I want to say about weird dreams is that I must do a video on this. That'll be easier. But yeah, try and record the dream as you remember the dream, like when you wake up in the morning, and then leave it and then go back to it and look for the keywords and then ask your higher self to tell you the meaning, because it's often quite detached from the meaning, but it'll be some kind of very strong visual metaphor. Right, I'm going to put my glasses on because my eyes are needing these today. So, oh yeah, I wrote in here from somebody else on Telegram that what we decide over the last couple of weeks is really defining whether or not you step into chaos or into prosperity. So we know what to do with chaos. We observe it and then we look for a way to be detached from it. So handle all of these challenges that have been coming up and that continue to come up. Just try and handle them so that it's like your outcome, your focus, your destiny aligns with prosperity, and to drop into this deep trust that even if you cannot see what, how, or why, to trust that what is leaving right now will be correct. And it might be that some things leave or some people leave and then come back again, and that will definitely be the case for some. But to not be caught up with it, because it it, it sounds strong, but it's like mission and purpose take priority right now. So astrologically, we've been in a cosmic reset, and that's what this eclipse energy is bringing. Is it's like taking away all that doesn't assist, doesn't serve, doesn't support. So you can ask yourself this question every day: does this serve me? Does this support my future self, or does this feed my fear? And that your answer is your guidance. You don't want to be in fear. So we've been in review, and in a way, I guess, we can do the review through our body, we can do the review through our consciousness, we can do the review through our mind. But in a way, just by sitting and observing and not being too attached, things will move anyway. So that's how I'm showing the energies. The energies will move out what doesn't align anymore, what isn't a frequency match. So it'll be that, it'll be in disharmony. So it will be like putting two tuning forks together that are in disharmony, and so they repel. And that is the energetic mathematics, I want to say, that we can be working with at the moment. So everything around relationships, around patterns, around habits, whether that's thoughts, words, actions, all of it is here to be reviewed. And also an opportunity to manifest. So, be focused on what it is that you want at the same time. Yeah, so Saturday, 10 days ago, I had this massive time jump. And today I did as well. It was, up relatively early, and then all of a sudden noticing that it was mid-afternoon. So that happened to me last Saturday, and it happened to me today as well. Gaia spoke about, as we move into this higher placement, this one that we've been working towards for 2,000 years, that many are exhausted. And I know that many of you are really tired and really exhausted, because you have been holding space for your family, and you've been doing the work on behalf of your familial lines back through time, space, and dimension, and your matriarchal lines and patriarchal lines, and holding space for humanity, and doing other things for other sentient life on the planet, whatever is your kind of link up. And also, so maybe being off planet as well. I know for me, I have had a couple of days where I have felt that I've been, and I claim it because that's what I'm showing, where I felt I was holding space for all of the masculine in the world. I don't mean that I would have been holding that alone, but that's was my work for a couple of days, and then there was another time when I was holding space for ascension, for planetary life, and I'm sure that some of this for me is because of my strong alliance with Gaia. But much to occur over this past fortnight. It's continued in terms of this harmonizing and this allocation of higher connections and true heart's desires and purpose and goals. All of that beginning to arrive and land to be acknowledged and recognized and worked with. And this access to joy coming in more and more. So you may feel that you have been in the still point of a great storm at times, and then at other times that you've been in the cyclonic aspect, not in the still point, and other times when you've been sitting back from it, observing it. But we've had these very cyclic energies swirling around, and some of the time we've been that vertical pole in the center, holding steady and anchored between above and below. And it's quite a lovely perspective to sit in, I want to say, this viewing perspective as the energy of change becomes more pervasive and impactful. And I guess for me, that's been part of my emotion, part of my tears, is that finally I am observing these things happening that I've been writing about for the last 9 years. Yes, I've been feeling a lot of days of feeling very joyful and sometimes giggly, and then all of this energy, this movement around is impacting us in this harmonization and this merging. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you that I got this. I was doing it, and so I just was guided to do this. So I'll show you. It's humming. It's humming with your own voice, and I was doing it with this ooh sound, like ooh. So you might want to try it. So I got that was a sound for harmonizing your body with the field. So there will be, like, Michelle Boyle, she knows a lot about frequencies. I'm doing some work with her at the moment, which I'm really enjoying. Um, and so maybe she's got something to say about that. Judah's got a strong statement to say. So you might not want to be here then, Judah. And yeah, so maybe you might like to leave if that makes you unhappy to be here. All right, and then when coming into Wednesday on the 17th, there was a lot of what I was showing, a lot of karmic eruptions and release of all that holds us in lower dimension thoughts and concerns, and the shadow aspects coming up for us to work with in the body as we are sitting in these beautiful higher celestial energies, these lights and codes that are entering our cells for transformation into our higher crystalline light. And so just again, just every day, just be aware of what might arise for you to be able to let go. Um, Let me see here. Okay. So then idea, um, this idea of being squeezed. So a lot of that energy. So feeling squeezed down to the depths of your cells. That's what came through on the 18th as extra strong purification energies are hitting the body in a next level intensity. Gaia showed up playing a keyboard today, and that's the first time I've seen her playing that as an instrument, and playing very quickly and playing every single note on the keyboard throughout the musical piece in very, very quick time. So the message is be focused, feel into the rhythm, build intensity, and then slow into flow. So you can be in such present moment and you can allow the energy to flow, the motion to carry you through to the next moment because things are happening very quickly. And that is the easiest way to be managing it. That you can like shift your movement, shift your intensity, be okay with it changing up and down, and be thinking. I got shown this as a series of dances, each with their own rhythm and sound, and that one dance may only last a few minutes before shifting into either something faster or something slower. Michelle's just saying your hum is simply an ancient tone frequency. Many of the tones, the vowels, are connected to the Platonic solids, so give them a try. Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right. So back to here. Oh yeah, what came is, see what bugs you today, that those little irritations, they might be giving you clues about what needs your attention, and to just keep tuning into what your body shows you and to stay in extreme presence with yourself and with your body. And then on the 20th, this idea of our like coming more into soul. So we've been doing a lot of work with the heart, and now this idea of coming into greater, more personal, more intimate communication with our soul. And I started by writing Soul Bloom. Souls are arising, opening, blossoming. This conscious awakening is causing a soul evolution of humanity's greater recognition of self, who you are and why you are here, and what is important to you. This energetic gateway we are leaping through, many still in the liminal space. And it might be that some of you, that's how I felt today, that I was still in that liminal space to some extent. This anticipating touchdown in a new higher sense reality, but not being so caught up with the timing of it. Happily floating, gliding through this expansive expression of the heart, which enables the soul to open, the soul to breathe, and the soul to experience the new and the higher frequencies in cycles of recognition and embodiment. So this, working together with these aspects of self so that we can rediscover ourselves. And so the idea that, this communication that's heart to heart is going to become communication that is soul to soul. So then that took us into the solar eclipse, which had a focus of aligning our destiny with our purpose, and that all that doesn't serve us is removed. And that's so we can align with all that does align and all that does serve us. So it's in that ongoing inquiry, that ongoing query, does this serve me or does this not? Do I keep this or do I release this? Do I collapse this or do I expand this? And that can apply everywhere. That can apply to all of the context of your life. That might be people, it might be relationships, it might be work, it might be geography, it might be location, um, might be mission. So it seems to me that a lot of missions have closed off, perhaps, and that we're not yet in the place where the new missions have arrived. So be interested to hear if any of you have your new mission. But to me, it feels like that. It feels like we're finishing off perhaps what's been part of the work that we're doing, and it might be that we still continue that, but that we're in this preparation, I believe, of receiving new missions. So just be in present moment, observe what arises in thought, word, and action and expression, and then just remember when you get a little bit knocked off on a knocked off balance, is to just bring your hands back to your heart and breathe. And on that day, I just felt such huge expansion coming through. Um, and Cosmic Insights, I'm not sure where I got that from, but it was from Cosmic Insights. They wrote this: dream through your hearts. And I just loved that. And so we were in this, the tides of the moonlit Neptunian tides of compassion. So continue to have compassion for yourself and for others. We're all in different places and levels of understanding, and people coming into fear, which I imagine is kind of part of what we just witnessed. Yeah, and coming into this Neptunian, into the Neptunian, which is all about, excuse me, it's the planet of spirituality and intuition. It's the planet of psychic sensitivity. It has a connection to the collective consciousness, and it influences the collective rather than individual. So that has been present for us over the time of this eclipse. And then, hello, Tam. I think it was to do with the positioning of the moon and the sun. Why it was, I think it may have been related to the timing as well. I did read that. I'm sorry, Tan, I can't remember exactly, but yeah, it was that we got to see it more here. Although in Auckland, it was, or where I am anyway, it was really cloudy, so we couldn't see it. And then notes from the 21st, yeah, there was this real celebratory joyousness, hallelujah. Those are the first two words that came when I started to write. Are you ready to let the good in? What would that look, sound, and feel like for you? Place your hand over your heart and breathe. Feel the expansion through your heart chakra. It was likely on that day, and I believe it's still to be so. So it's a new phase. At least in my experience, I feel that I can breathe more deeply now, and for longer, and I have a pretty good breath, but I felt that it was increased and enhanced. And to remember to sometimes at least breathe and fill up your belly and have long, and then hold, and then release out through the mouth. And do a series of those each morning. On that day, a couple of days ago, the body was preparing for one more step into this eclipse energy to light up your body, to light up humanity, and to light up the world. So get your bare feet on the ground, feel the energies harmonizing through all of your various systems, and focus on the emotional body, is what I got for the 21st. Look for light, look for love, look for joy in every moment of the day and in every vista. So always nature can provide us with what we might need to feel uplifted. Another wave of energetic light was washing through on that day for further clarification of the emotional body, which is continuing. We're really doing a lot of deep work on the emotional body. High frequency emotions, they are starting to have a precedence in humans' experience, bringing greater peace to the human resonance field. And the light was showing up as these beautiful pillars, um, these gold and white pillars with fine strands of silver. That's what I was showing was permeating the fascia of our bodies and the fascia or the crust of the earth. And that, of course, in geographical terms, is the continental and oceanic crust. So, divine masculine, I tell you, they are working really hard at the moment. I'm showing that they are sprinting to the finish line, that they are feeling a great sense of urgency to complete whatever it is that is, on their radar to complete. And it may involve healing and learning, up leveling, integrating, and embodiment. And many are intensely focused, is what I have observed, on whatever stage and phase they are experiencing in order to be ready for the next phase of their journey. So they are really on point here and doing what they need to do in order to fulfill their place. And also, I was shown that they are merging their minds with their hearts at the moment, exploring this greater balance between the mind and the heart. So, yeah, just having a look again at patterns, anything that is controlling you, any patterns that you hold or that you allow to continue that are controlling you, just let those go. And to be looking at what new ones now. So, looking at what needs to go, but look at what you need to bring in. What new patterns do you need to form to lay in for your desired life? So you can feel yourself in this awakening to the new. And what changes could be introduced right now to bring in greater balance in your life as we move into this new time of the Libran sector of our astrology. So, what escapes from your inner being as a desire for this time and a good time to be focused on relationships? Where do you require greater freedom? Is it in your thoughts, words, patterns, work, daily habits, or long held dreams? Embody peace and love in order to align with all that is divinely planned in your soul plan blueprint. And Gaia was juggling coloured balls today, and this included all of the rainbow spectrum plus white and silver and gold. And this, to me, was representing this formal introduction to the planet of these two new higher spectrums of colour, one which is called the feminine spectrum and one which is called the masculine spectrum, shown to me a number of years ago. And the feminine spectrum is the opalescent spectrum. So this is all of the colours that are like white with just this little tip of colour in it. So it has this sheen to it. It has this shimmer to it and just this tiny amount of color. So it's not pastel, it's lighter than that, but it has this shimmer, this sheen to it. And then the masculine are these hugely saturated jewel colors. So you just think of the brightest, deepest sapphire and the deepest, greenest emerald and all of the jewel colors in great saturation. That's the masculine spectrum. So keep a lookout as more of those are introduced into our lives here on planet Earth. And then today. So today, Gaia, when I attuned to Gaia and I went to visit her in the earth today, she had these sort of like little pillows that were about this big, and she was squeezing them. They looked like bladders or not human bladders, but like a bladder in something. They behaved like that, and she called them the bellows, and she that's what she called them, and they relate to key components representing the organs. So these are our bodies and that of the earth. So it was to do with the sort of instrumentation, and these are deep within and relate to deep purification and balancing in preparation for another round of new and higher frequencies and a greater collective resonance. So we're moving as a collective now into this higher frequency and resonance. And Gaia said, we are soon to be celebrating as the general masses are awakening quickly now. The blinkers are off. Adjustments are being made to see and perceive more truth. Slow and steady, many incremental adjustments will soon show their impact on the collective. So light workers, first wavers, star seeds, whatever you may want to call yourself, are laying in the new patterning primarily through your own individual alignment. And as each embodies and integrates these higher codes and frequencies, more DNA is soothed and healed, reconnected and activated. As more individuals have their 12 strands of initially, because we'll go more, but 12 strands initially of DNA activated, a collective effect takes place. And this is going to be revealing more truth, collapsing illusion, upgrading humanity and the planet, and many aspects colliding into the 0 point. So there's only kind of one way to view things. So a solar flash is still a likely and imminent event. However, whether this happens or not, the predicted effect of that is already occurring through the many minor solar emissions, through the DNA upgrades, the human upgrades, the earth clearing, and then of course we know that many will leave. So we know that at about a third of the planet will leave. That it relates to soul choice, soul contracts, and so they have been here and done what they came to experience. I wanted to speak briefly about Atlas 3I being in our proximity. I think I did mention it the other day, but if you think about the analogy that Gaia gave me was the way that birds spread pollen, and that's what Atlas 3I, this huge craft, it shows to me as a ship or a craft coming through close to our atmosphere. But what Gaia said to me, and there's been writing about this from other people since she told me this, that it comes from beyond our galaxy, and that it's bringing ions or particles to our atmosphere, into our galaxy, that haven't been here before. So, like the birds picking up pollen on their feathers as they're moving from tree to tree or flower to flower, that's what Atlas 3I is doing here for Earth. It's bringing these new aspects or molecular pieces, fractals here for us to be able to access them. And so what I've been told about that is that it's going to give us a kind of like an accelerated upgrade in terms of our gifts. So it's going to impact removal of, again, this same theme that we've been in, but it's going to impact it in a more expanded form, all impacting the removal of what no longer serves, all sentient life and all planetary and human systems all coming into balance. But what they are bringing is this ability for us to become more and more telepathic, for us to be kind of in this upgrade of communication, which Guy mentioned a long time ago when I asked her what was the internet about. She said the internet is training for humanity to be able to have an expectation of being in connection with everyone around the planet. So this is kind of part of that upgrade for us. So we're having this happen, this energetic realignment, this energetic integration individually and collectively as we all become aligned and empowered and becoming homo luminous. So yeah, I think it goes hand in hand with this emotional wobble, as you know, we're just getting so much that's going on that it's impacting our ability to be steady as we go all the time, because the body hasn't done this before. So the body is going into overwhelm, and we just need to nurture ourselves through it. So I want to say that, you know, everything that is occurring is related to soul choice, whether we stay or whether we go, whether we ascend or whether we don't. But there's this new way now, and we don't have to come into this new earth by dying. And there's this idea of really dipping into your own mighty I am presence, of trusting that, of trusting who you really are at core. Yeah, so I wrote in here, remember Guy said about internet being a training system for our expectation and desire to be connected to others around the world, which we will ultimately do through our own connection to the planetary grid lines with our upgraded gifts. So that's might be the end of it. Oh no, it's not. So yeah, tell me what you've noticed through these upgrades. We've been yes, because we've been having neural upgrades in the brain, and we've been having upgrades in the nervous system, which is what all of this emotional stuff is about. And so many of you have probably been in hermit mode. I know that some of my friends are like that, and then I've been like that. I'm just like, I'll stay home. I don't feel like going anywhere. And I'm not like that all the time, but I have moments where I'm like that, and I honor it. So, last thing here. Do what feels right. Do what feels right in each moment. Let that be your guidance. Learn to trust more deeply your own inner guidance, as many tiny, detailed streets are mapped out for each of us in the latter part of this ascension. We're cleaning up our own family genealogy, our cultural, our geographic, and our future as well, as we are laying in the new. So it's massive, and maybe you are having times of being an overwhelm as I am, and just to go gently, to take it easy, to trust that all is well, that all is perfectly aligned, and here we are. Here is this beautiful group of beings, and we can hold and support one another through this, as we're holding and supporting people in our families and in our communities. So Deb Boyle is saying, are they what? Huge changes in the house, and they don't even understand what's happening. Hello, Fiona. Yes, I think that's isn't that a beautiful thing, Deb? That we're observing this. I'm observing it. I'm observing what, and have been for maybe the last few months. I've been observing what I call a softening. There's a softening going on. And it's really beautiful to be witnessing. And so that softening is part of people coming into their hearts more, of not being in such resistance to the change, even though they don't know. Um, so I hope that you're okay. Those of you who are here, I hope you weren't too wobbled by that person who came in and said that the Lord needs me to repent. Um, and yeah, interesting that we were, or that I was confronted with that. I find that really interesting. Um, yeah. So sending you lots of love at this time, sending you a lot of self belief that you've got this, and you might not have all of the answers in the future yet, but you do have the answer in each moment, and let that be your guide, your inner compass, your inner GPS. What feels right to do right now? And a lot of that at the moment might be having a lie down, or it might be getting out and getting your bare feet on the grass, or it might be leaning up against a tree. Nature is our best ally through this time. It really helps us come into alignment more quickly and come into ease and balance. So much love to you. And I will thank you. I thank you. I thank you for being here with me. And I will see you again soon. Ah, funny. Thank you, Michelle. Hello, Helen. All right. Much love, everyone. Bye.